Okay, let's continue. So this is where we're up to at the moment. Let's have a look at this tab here. This is Elements, and this is a really cool part of Canva because you can type in absolutely anything. So let's just type in sun. So you've got graphics that you can choose. There is more graphics, so if you pressed see all, there's absolutely all sorts. You've obviously got like more cartoony ones. These are a little bit, they're very diverse, I would say. When you start to use some, it will also give you kind of more towards your design. It will give you like a magic options, they're called. So yeah, it will start to read your design and suggest other options. You've also got photos as well. So that's a really cool feature. So if you didn't want to go down the file explorer and obviously try and find one on the internet, Canva has its own built-in photos as well. So let's just look at barbecue, because actually I think this picture is too pixelated. So I've typed in barbecue. I'm going to try and find a photo. Let's take that one out. I don't like that picture. Let's try this one here. Much better. I like this one. It kind of shows exactly what I want it to. So now I've got, again, options. If I double click on that picture, you can see that I can actually move the image around. Now, sometimes you'll have pictures that are obviously much bigger than this one, and it might come all the way out here. So you've got more options to kind of move that around and use whichever particular part of the picture you want to. So yeah, let's use that. I'm going to change my writing back to white, and I'm going to change all of it back to white so it stands out. This, I think, is starting to look a little bit better. The other option you've got is, I was creating an image a little while ago for this barbecue picture here. Doesn't actually exist. It's an AI image. And so how we do that is we go to Magic Media, and you can type in however you want. Oops. However you want. You're basically typing in 5 words, 5 keywords, and see what it says. It'll generate some images. If you don't like it, you can generate some more. So there you go. It's generating you some images there. What I would say is these have got much better in the last, I would say, 6 months. But just be very, very careful, because you can have AI images and it will create it where a person's got 6 fingers or 2 heads or no fingers and all thumbs. So just watch this, because obviously you want to be sure that what you're using is correct. I don't necessarily like that, so I'm gonna show you how you go back. So I've added that image. I don't like it. I just press this undo button, and I want to go back to that because it's not necessarily the images that I want. If I wanted to, I could generate that again and do it that way. And you can do that all day until you find an image that you want. I quite like this image. It's showing what I want it to, so that's fine. I'm going to get rid of that. So that's the Magic Media. If you've used any photos or anything, they will be hidden in there. I want to show you this tab here, this brand. So obviously I create a lot of things for my ministry, and so this has recognized, this program has recognized this and has kept my logos that I use. all in one place so that I can just add that into my image. So if it was something for that, I'd just pop that there, and that's where I would generally place it if it was something for my ministry. However, this is not, so I'll delete that out. So it's really clever, so it's obviously recognized. I use these for everything. So that's the brand template. So if you've got maybe an archdiocese logo that you want to add on there, or you've got a church logo that you want to add on there, that's your brand part of it, which is, yeah, really cool. You've obviously got this feature here, which is your text. So if there was something in addition to the writing that you've got on here, so you've got your St. Richard's. I'm going to change that in a minute because I don't think it's bold enough. You've got your summer fair, fabulous. We've got a date on there. Again, you can change the size, you can change the font, whatever you like. But actually, I want to add a short description in there. You've got this feature here. So if you scroll down, you've got some font layouts that you can choose, and you can just click on one of those if you wanted to, but obviously it's going to be in this style. I almost never use these, but again, it comes down to whatever you're designing. So yeah, you've got lots and lots of options there. I generally would use one of these, so I'm going to click on that there, and it's brought this here. So I'm going to type in So I've typed that in there. Great. I might not necessarily want it in this kind of layout. So here you can change the alignment. You can keep clicking it till you're happy. So you've got it all to the left, or in a block, or all to the right. Now obviously for this, it's showing that it's not all to the right, it's all in one line. So I've changed that just so you can see it. Or you can do it against the block or into the middle. I'm quite happy with that being how it was in the first place. But they're just your options. So I'm going to press back until it goes where I want it to go. Now again, if you wanted to change the size of it, you can make it bold, you can make it italic, you can change the font colour. So choosing a colour that works best for you. Unfortunately with this, I can't see it, so I'm going to show you another feature. So in my elements, I use this quite a lot. So I will type in rectangle, and it'll, there you go, it'll quickly add that. I can move it, the sides, I can make it narrower, and then I can move that down there just to make a feature of this writing. Now again, I can move my writing to fit in that box, but again, I can change the colour of that. Let's change that to white so it stands out a little bit better. So you can see there that obviously you've got a number of options. You can move your writing around, you can move your box around till you're happy with it. Change the font colour, change the font size, change the font style. You might decide to have it something less bold, more bold, completely up to you. So yeah, there are all the different options in there. Now one of the features that I use a lot, and I'm going to go to the newsletter for this, is, so this is our St. Richard's newsletter. As you can see, this box is trying to advertise to me again. I have a few newsletters on here, and the reason I do this is because Canva has a really cool feature. If I wanted, so this is this week's newsletter. if I wanted to make my life a whole lot easier, what I can do is I can duplicate the page. So I'll generally do this if I try and create a few weeks worth of newsletters in one go. So I'll duplicate this, and it's done an entire copy. So I've got 2 copies of this now. I'll also show you this. So it'll show you in grid feature here. Okay, so I've got a few weeks. Now, as you can see, these 2 are exactly the same because I've duplicated it, and I'm going to work on that last one. And you're thinking, I can't read what's on there. Don't worry about it. You've got this here where you can zoom in, and then you can move it around. Okay, so what I generally then would do is each of these is a separate element. For you, you might not like that, but I actually really like it because it means I'm in control of every single part of this. So if I've got a math intention there, I don't want everything to be lumped in together. So if I want to move that one bit, I can. Okay. Another feature that I've got in Canva is I've got this week's one. So that's this week's. I want to lock that so that I don't, by accident, touch something and move something that I don't want to. So that's locked. I cannot move anything in there now if I try. So that means I can't make any sort of mistake. So I'll show you how I do this newsletter in the next video.